Welcome back to Good Day Las Vegas, and we are joined once again by Metro Sheriff Joe Lombardo for our Morning Cup of Joe segment. Sheriff, good to see you once again.
Good morning, John.
So with the pandemic, we've certainly noticed, and maybe you have too, a lot more people going outside for recreation way into the desert. What kind of increased activity are you seeing at Metro in the more rural parts of Clark County, and maybe extra enforcement out there?
Yeah, you're correct in your assessment. So we have a lot more people four-wheeling, and a lot more people visiting Mount Charleston. We've been concerned with some illegal campfires, but in particular to the rural areas, and the increased activity ends up increasing our response with search and rescue. A lot of amateur folks get out there and start climbing rocks and doing what they do, or hiking too far and get medical distress. So we've had a significant increase in search and rescue operations, which I am responsible for. A lot of people don't know that. But we have helicopter rescues and on-the-ground rescues, and we've had a significant number of folks that have been in precarious situations that require our response.
Recently, Sheriff, we've seen some standoffs around the valley. It happens from time to time, but they've ended peacefully. Suspects have been arrested, sometimes without a long, drawn-out or any sort of a violent conclusion. There's been an effort by Metro to try and achieve that for a long time. What are the changes in tactics by Metro on those situations to try and avoid death?
So we try to make it a point of tactical consideration where SWAT is the last resort. Earlier in years past, SWAT was called out sooner than later, and times when SWAT shows up, it escalates the suspect, it escalates the police officer's mindset, and we try to give our officers sufficient training to de-escalate situations on their own. And we rely on the police officers themselves, the first point of contact, to achieve the ability to slow down the action and achieve de-escalation.
But presumably there's a fine line between wanting to have a de-escalation and not turn up the temperature essentially at a situation, but also trying to make sure that what was happening beforehand doesn't escalate on its own. How is an officer aware of that so that they sort of read the room as they get to the scene?
Right. So, we record previous events. So a lot of times in people that have mental issues, we've been there more than once. And it's important for the officer, if it's a different officer on a different day of response, that they have all that historical knowledge and how to react to this person or how to address this person.
Sheriff, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and we appreciate the time we get every week. If you have a question for Sheriff Lombardo yourself, you can submit it on our website, 8newsnow.com, and find out if the question is answered every Wednesday.